breath starting to flow for us. It's like we're trying to supercharge the lungs, super pump them. So from here, this kind of supercharged state, we're going to take a moment to connect with our intention, just an easy intention. A lot of times in Yogilates, our main focus is core, and we kind of can't get away from that in Yogilates. We will always have that aspect of it. But for today, we're also focusing on the hips. So we're helping those hips, strengthening them and stretching them. So helping that whole area. So just that metaphor that we'd like to keep on the back of our mind is just the idea of creativity. Creativity is the essence of that sacral chakra. So by doing that strengthening and that energizing and the stretching for that area, we can't help but kind of build up that creative force. And so that's kind of the idea that we're focusing on today, creativity. And so what is it that we'd like to see with our time, with our future? What's a big hope that we would like to grow? It's almost like imagine you're growing something in your womb to birth it out. And so what is that future, that hope, that dream, whatever it is? And that's what we're keeping in the back of our mind today. And so with that simple idea to get us started, we're going to take our right knee in and start to hug hands around this right knee. Just an easy stretch to start off with. Give it a good hug. Good. As we release, right leg straightens up to the sky. Spread your hands around the thigh. Give it a good stretch for a moment. So you'll notice sometimes these first 2 or 3 stretches are pretty tight, so that's why we're giving it a little moment. And then release it down. Left knee in, give it a hug. And leg up to the sky. Right around the thigh, give it a tug. Good, lower it all the way down. Now everything that we just did, we're going to continue to do a little bit faster. So a brief hug for right thigh. Stretching up to the sky, a brief tug. And then lower down, use the strength of the leg. When it touches down, left knee in, hug. And tug. And lower. Right thigh, hug, tug, lower. Just continue this, we'll do a few more. Starting to feel some of those muscles, and especially that psoas muscle that's controlling the lowering. We're starting to feel it warming up. The stretching is getting easier each time. Good. So then right knee comes in. From here, we're going to turn it into a huge bicycle. So it's going through the same motion that we were just doing, but it's a continuous thing instead of just one leg at a time. So with this right knee already in, let's extend that right leg up to the sky. As it starts to lower down, left knee comes in, reach up to the sky to lower. Make sure you kind of include that moment with the hamstring stretch. Keep the breath flowing. This is our real first one that we need that breath to help us out. A good exhale anytime a leg starts to lower. Let's take another 3 to each side. 2, 1, and then drop this left leg down to the ground. This right knee comes back in, give it a hug. This time the right knee starts to open out super wide to the right, so maybe right hand rest on the inner thigh, give it a little stretch to that outside angle. Good, lift the knee back up, send it to a partial twist. And when the hip goes back to the floor, let's straighten, right leg to the sky. Hands can easily help on. Now right leg goes to the right, maybe inner thigh is the resting place of the right hand. Good, leg lifts back up. Take it about halfway down to the left. This gets us into the IT band area. It's one of those connections that gets tight around the hip. The hip has so much going on from the front to the thigh, to the back, to the glutes, to the hamstring, to the low back. It's all connected in the hips. We're getting into one of those tight spots here. Good, lift the leg back up, just a brief tug, and lower the leg all the way down. Left knee in, give it a hug. And then left leg out to the left. Left hand helps to weigh it down. Good, knee back up, partial twist. Good, hip down, leg up to the sky, give it a stretch. Let it go wide out to the left, inner thigh stretch. And leg up, halfway cross over to the other side. IT band opener. Good, leg back up to the sky, give it a tug, and lower it all the way down. Now kind of adding all that we've done together here, bring the knees into the chest, give it just 2 or 3 breaths to rock out the hips and the low back, help it feel good. Good, and then from here, the knees take a 90-degree angle, arms can start to open up to left and right. This will be a pretty large sequence. It's all going to come together here. So the first part is keeping the knees bent like this. Let both knees open wide to a small letter V. And then squeeze the inner thighs together. Now keep the legs together. Both knees tilt over to the left. You choose how far. And then rise. Both knees to the right. And return, both legs up to the sky, both legs go wide, large figure V, squeeze legs back together, both legs straight, go partway toward the left, you choose how far, and then back up, both legs partway toward the right, and back up. So that was one cycle. We're going to take several more rounds. Back to bent knees, wide figure V, and squeeze. Both knees left and right. Straight legs, figure V, together, left, and right. Bent knees, figure V, left, and right. Straight legs, figure V, left, and right. Bent knees, figure V, left, and right. Straight legs, figure V, left, and right. Let's take 3 more rounds. If you're still doing good, same thing each time. So bent knees, the whole sequence. Straight legs. Two more rounds, bent knees. Straight legs. Last one, bent knees. Straight legs. Good, and then we'll rest here for a moment with left ankle coming up to right thigh, and then give a hug around the right thigh or the right shin, whatever you can reach. Feel us starting to get even deeper into that hip area. Nice stretch. Opening up the arms, keep the legs in this unit, they fall over to the right. We're trying to get deeper into that hip, the outer hip or the outer thigh. So try to keep this knee pointing upward. Maybe use the right fingers to help pop the knee up. Or maybe if you want to go deeper, both legs continue to slide closer to the right shoulder. Here, you're welcome to release the knees to just a stacked position. Maybe the top leg straightens out to get that extra hamstring stretch. Good, and continuing to roll over to the right side body. Maybe your head comes into that right hand. We're gonna do some large circles with this top leg, that left one. So first, swivel the legs into that slight banana shape. And then from here, this top leg, that left one, hovers about as high as the hip. Start to kick that leg forward as much as you have the strength for, and then lift it directly up. Rotate it back, but try not to collapse at the shoulders. Try to keep that left hand in the ground. Good, that was one circle. Continue to repeat in that direction, forward, up, and back. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Good, reverse, the leg goes back to forward. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest for just a moment. If you ever would like to massage that IT band, that thigh while we're resting, that's always fine. Okay, so from here, hot potatoes. The top thigh taps down on the floor twice. It hops up, hop twice behind. Front, behind. 3, 2, 1. Let it rest for a moment. Maybe another massage. Now that left leg does small circles. We've already done large. Now it goes about the size of a tennis ball. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for just a moment. Take a good breath in, good exhale, and then bring it right back up. Reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Maybe massage. Good. One last thing on this side. Bring that left leg right back up to level. And then this time the bottom leg comes up and down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good work. If you need to massage just a moment, that's fine. I'm gonna flip around so I face you when we do that to the second side. But from here, just helping that left thigh one more moment. Let's bring that leg in, give it a good hug. So maybe we're hugging on with kind of like a cradling position with the hands, or maybe we can bring it all the way toward the elbow creases and just set up a nice, easy hug for a moment. Breathing into that hip that's so alive. Good. And as we start to release, we're setting up for the second side. So we start off with right ankle going to left thigh. Once we're there, give it a hug. Starting to open up into that hip. Opening up the arms, the legs fall in this unit over to the left. Maybe left hand helps to prop up that knee, getting the knee to point more upward. You can turn it into the simple crossed leg, the knees stack. Or maybe your top leg stretches out long to get into that hamstring for a moment. Okay, as we release, we're rolling over onto the left side body. The head can be in the left hand. We've got the right leg on top this time. So swivel the legs slightly in like that banana setup. And so the first things first, the top leg is going to do the huge circles. We're going for 5 to each direction. Again, if that's too much, just take maybe 3 and take a little rest in between. But we're lifting that leg up level with the hip. Let's start with kicking right leg forward. Lift it up, Rotate it back, try to minimize shoulder movement. Good, and then forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll start to reverse. So trace the toes backwards, up and forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Let it rest, maybe with a massage. Okay, we've got hot potatoes. Top leg hops to the floor in front, tapping twice. Jump up, tap twice behind. And here's 3, 2, 1. And rest. Maybe a massage. Okay, 10 small circles, tennis ball size. You choose the first direction. Going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A brief rest. 1 breath in, breath out. Lift the leg back up, reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Maybe massage. Okay, when you're ready, top leg goes level with the hip, the bottom leg touches up and down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Good work, rest. We're done with that side. So maybe give it a little massage, a little rub for a second. When we're feeling pretty good, return to your back. Let's give it a little cradling hug for a moment. So the right foot swivels in. Let's give it a hug. Good. Releasing the leg down. Let's do just a little bit for the core here for a moment, giving our hips and our legs a complete rest. They just get to stay on the ground. So let's take our fingertips behind the head. What we're going to do is just crunch directly up and then down. Going for 10 of those. So 10 is as much surface area as you can get of the back off the ground. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting down, legs up to the sky. Let's do some circles. So we're not going to get super large here. We've already done large circles. This is going to be a nice beach ball size. So a nice medium circle going in one direction. And then when you finish, immediately, switch the direction of that circle. Nice exhale. Exhale. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bend the knees. From here, let's roll like a ball, trying to balance in boat pose and then rock back. So we rise, balance, and rock. Always know if you're ever wanting to make this a bit harder, you can do that by making the legs straighter. Maybe trying to grab onto calves or onto ankles, and then trying to roll back and find that immediate balance from there. If anybody still needs more than this, when you come up, try to balance as you open the legs, bring the legs together, and then roll back again. We'll go for 5 of those. If you're with me, it's okay if you're not. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Ankles to bottoms of feet together, rather. Cobbler's pose. Just give your hips a good chance to spread wide, nice and open. If stillness for a few more breaths feels great, that's fine. If you'd like to take just a moment to kind of sway a hair to the left and right, sometimes that's a really good way to ease just a little bit deeper into some of those hip muscles. Okay, when we rise up, let's open the legs to a nice wide figure V. Arms are up to shoulder distance height. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist. We're taking right pinky to left pinky toe. And then inhale, return up. Exhale, second side. Inhale up. Let's take another round of 4. 3. 2. And 1. And then dropping the hands in front of us, we'll take a couple of breaths, inching forward. This is another spot where when you get there, you can just pause in stillness, or you could have just an easy sway, a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left, if you can feel that connecting to some really good hip stuff. If you've been swaying, pause in the center, take one more good breath in. Nice exhale. And then let's start to rise. Very good. Let's come onto our knees. Just a little bit of movement for our spine. Give it a couple of breaths. So this can be cat-cow, this wagging of your hips left and right, circles of the rib cage, whatever feels like it's helping. You got just another 2 or 3 breaths. Great. And then from this kneeling position, what we're going to do is take this right leg, and that right knee is going to trace 5 circles, and then we'll switch 5 to the other direction. So when you're ready, lift it up, and we're taking a number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're welcome to pause for just a moment. Take a breath in and out, and then reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that knee down. Shake the hips out a little bit left and right, just easing the hip joint. Good, and then when you're ready, left knee lifts up. Take the first direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breather, a nice inhale. Exhale, and then switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knee down. Couple of wags left and right. In a brief puppy pose, let's walk the hands forward, arching the heart down. Good, coming up, take a cat and a cow. Good, and from here, right leg kicks out to the space behind you. We're gonna do 5 rounds. The round goes like this. Right knee to the nose. Right leg kicks back. When it kicks back, bend the knee, the foot is above that knee. Pump up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So just 4 more of those, knee to nose. Kick back and bend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3. Pumping. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that knee down. Give your hips a little wag. We're gonna do the other side right away, and then we'll take a little stretch for each hip. That'll help us out. But left leg back, knee to nose. Take it back, preparing to pump, going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop the left knee down. Step the right foot to the outside of right hand, lizard pose. Sinking the hips forward. This will be a really good stretch for the front of the left hip. It's that psoas area. So that's what we're really trying to get into here. Stretching that and a little bit of this that's going on the right hip. If anybody wants to lower down one elbow or both, that's fine. Lizard pose is great with that. Good. And then take this leg back, second leg, step it up, sink hips forward. Remember, we're trying to get deep into the front of the right hip. You do have the option to lower down one or both elbows if you'd like. Hey, taking this one back. What I'm gonna do is a nice little downward facing dog for a moment. This will help me stretch through the legs. If you'd like to just take a moment with child pose instead, that's fine. Give it a little stretch, a little length. Good. And when you're pretty happy with that stretch, we're gonna walk our feet up toward the top of the mat. This is going to be feet placed about as wide as the mat. So this can be wider than the hip placement. Fingers can be on the floor. If you can't reach the floor, bring the hands to the shins instead. Just give it 2 or 3 more breaths to help the legs stretch out. Good. So the move that we're going to do here, to me, kind of feels like a football player. So what I'm going to do is bend the knees, sitting the hips back. You get to choose how low. And then you straighten the legs. You're returning the legs back to that nice stretch. Good. So we're going to repeat that. 9. Squat. And straighten. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Good. Last one, and then leave the legs straight. That one's kind of a funny one because you don't necessarily feel all the work until those last couple of breaths. Those quads really working, glutes, all sorts of goodies. So here, just let it dangle. Nice inhale. Exhale. And let's begin to rise. We've had the head upside down for a while, so you're welcome to take as much time as you need to slowly roll up. Good. Even if you have to bend the knees for a moment, give your head a little break. So there's a couple last poses I'd like us to do for the strengthening side using a wall today. So I'm actually going to pivot the whole setup to face toward a wall. So if you have a wall that's clear, and you don't need much space, just like your body width high, go ahead and find a wall. Doors usually tend to work really well. If you can't find either of those, you can use a chair also. So any of those options, let's just kind of swivel, switch our space around. So first one's a little squat using the wall. So we're gonna sit, have our back up against the wall, and we're just gonna hold, lowering ourselves down. So you get to choose the difficulty here. So you can, go all the way to a 90-degree angle, that's fine. I recommend having it a distance where the low back can continue to push into the wall. That's perfectly fine. So a nice kind of low squat here. If you're not using a wall and you're using a chair instead, hold onto the chair and just kind of hold, going as low as you can go. So either way, we got that low back against the wall. If it ever gets to be too hard, just bump up a little bit. That'll keep the quads working, but not be quite so tremendous effort. So we're here. Hands on the thigh is helpful. Arms out in front makes it a little harder. Good. If you ever need to bump up a little bit, remember that's our way to make it easier. You're still doing okay. We're gonna count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Use the wall to help you straighten the legs. You'll readjust your hips to be on the wall again. The feet are still plenty far forward. And then we're gonna start walking our hands down the shins. Maybe all the way down toward a deep forward fold. Okay, bend the knees a little bit, bring the hands by the hips of the wall, and then kind of push away from the wall to help you just easily rise. This next one is like a lunge, but we're using the wall to help us give that little push. So what you're gonna do is start off with your right foot into the wall, and you can choose how high that foot is placed. So if you have a lot of flexibility, you could be, clear up high. Some of us might be a lot lower. If you got that chair instead, just put your foot on the chair and that'd be perfectly fine. Your other leg would kind of go backwards from there. So with the foot on the wall, what we're going to do is just some nice little lunges. Use the wall as needed for balance or arms to the sides. And we're going to lunge ourselves, bending the knee that's at the wall. That'll sink us a little bit closer to the wall. Standing leg will also bend just a little bit and then press away from the wall. So then bending to get closer and press. Feeling these are very different muscle groups than we oftentimes use. But here we are, we're working them. Press. 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 So we'll take another round of 10. 9. 8. You can always drop down early if needed. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good work. Drop that right foot in front of the left foot, and like a pyramid pose, we'll travel down over that straight right leg. So know that you're welcome to use the wall if you'd like to. Just go down to that point, maybe using it for a balance as you continue to travel over the right leg. Good. Bend that right knee, rise up. Got a few rounds on the second side. So left foot steps up to the wall. You choose the height. It can be on the chair instead. When you've got it set pretty good, let's begin our pulses. We're bending both knees to sink us closer to the wall and then push into the legs to come away. Bending and push. Bending, push. You're gonna have good, strong hip muscles after this class for sure. Let's take another 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good, drop it down. That left foot is in front of right foot. Let's take the pyramid pose. You can use the wall. You could use the floor. It's that good stretch for that leg. We very much fatigued the leg, and so this is a good chance for it now to go into a longer shape. Good, bending the knees to rise up. We're almost done with our strengthening. This next one, we're gonna be back to sitting up on the wall. Again, this can be done using a chair for help with that balance. But from the sitting down this time, we're taking right ankle up onto left thigh, trying to let this right leg relax open toward kind of a hip opener stretch. At the same time that we're trying to keep our hips level and just balance here. So you can always use the wall if you need more surface area to keep you upright. You can always bump up an inch if it gets to be too much. We're gonna hold this side another count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Use the wall, whatever you need to switch the legs out. Get the left ankle up. We're starting to sit against the wall. Choose a depth that's okay. It's not going to kill you, but it is a little challenging. Try to keep that left leg relaxed as the hips are still trying to stay level. So here we are. We've got a count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good work. Press away. Let's use the wall to help us do an easy quad stretch. Grab the left toes behind you. You do want to feel the left quad stretching, so if you need to scoop the tailbone under to get there, that's great. Drop this side, and then a right foot up behind you. Good, release that leg, legs go wide. Let's travel all the way forward, stretching both legs at the same time. Then we'll start to rise up. We're doing the rise to get all the way down to sitting. So whatever version, whatever adjustments you need to do to get back down to sitting, that's fine. When you're here sitting, we're gonna go back to cobbler's pose, just a couple of breaths. Tilting forward. When we rise up, take the right leg in front of the left leg. That can be cross leg, or you can do more of a knee step, depending on how much the hips can handle. So right leg in front or right leg on top. And from here, just take an easy twist. Left hand goes onto that right knee. Maybe you're even hugging the elbow around that knee, and then spiral the spine. Good, when you unwind, switch it out, so left knee on top. Grab the knee with the hand or the elbow, and then take the twist to the other direction. Good, back forward. Switch again, right leg in front or on top. This time fingers find the floor and just continue to walk the hands forward. Getting some of those deep muscle groups that we worked so hard. Good, so rising up. Switch the legs out one more time. Find the floor, travel forward. Here we're heading to our last little bit before Shavasana. So if there's other stretches you need, go ahead and take them. I'll guide you through just a hair more stretching on our back for the hips especially. But again, if you want to do your own stretches for the last minute or two, that's perfectly fine. So coming down onto our backs, what I'm going to do is take my legs up to the sky. Just do 10 little pulses. So the legs start off straight, and then I bend the knees. The knees will have to swivel out to each side just because of how the hips are set up, and then press back up. It's kind of like what we were doing at the wall, except for now I've got both legs pressing up. So I'm just doing this to help warm me up for a nice, good, happy baby pose. So here's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then happy baby. Grab the outside edges of feet, let the knees go wide. The hips are both opening together. Really good stretch. Releasing the left leg, drop it to the floor. Take this right leg into that cradling hug again, however deep you can hug it in. And then placing that right foot at the left hip. This right knee swivels down. I can slide my left foot into plant just a little bit more. And then with this right arm going by the right ear, I can tilt partway over to that right side as I'm pushing my hips to be more flush to the side of the mat. It's a really good hip opener. Good. So then relaxing down, we've got one more side if you're doing that. So then set up that half happy baby left for just a moment. And then cradle it in, a little hug. Left toes to right hip, swivel the knee down. Maybe the right foot slides a little closer. Maybe the left arm comes up by my ear. And then I begin to push to tilt over to that left side. Good, relax. And if there's any last wiggles or stretches you need, feel free to take them. If you're ready for Shavasana, find yourself in that beautiful resting place. Perhaps just for these next couple of minutes, just letting the breath flow in and out. Imagining that breath is like putting more and more creative force into that womb area, that sacral chakra. So each breath in and out, it's greater health, greater vitality, greater energy. Begin to deepen the inhales, the exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Maybe 2 or 3 more breaths until you rise up to this comfortable seated position. And so here with hands at the heart, we take a moment to feel all this energy of the hips, that sacral chakra, so energized, so strengthened, so stretched to be at class today. So as we travel forward, we have that question that will guide us on. What is it that I'd like to do with this creative energy inside of me? And so with that question to lead us forward, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.